No, I didn't. No, I didn't. All right, guys, we're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. We got the Jaded Cowboy here, and we got our boy Grizz from Philly, and we're going to get after it. We're going to figure out who is going to win this football game from these two guys. Russell, you got 5 minutes starting now. What do you got with the
All right.
Cowboys?
Well, I'm just going to throw a little statistic out to you. Last year, Philadelphia Eagles with Jalen Hurts as their quarterback. You know what their record was against playoff teams? 0-8, and that doesn't count getting their ass beat by the Bucs and being down 31 points in the first half. So this year, who have they beaten? You beat the Lions. You beat Jacksonville. Minnesota was a decent win. Let's be honest, Kyler Murray might be the stupidest quarterback in the NFL, and you should have lost that game. I don't feel like Philly has played anything like this juggernaut that's coming on the defensive side of the ball. I'm going to give you props. I'm going to give you a lot of props with your Reggie White jersey. Bad motherfucker, Grizz. But you're about to see the second coming of LT. Micah Parsons is the best defensive player in the NFL. And not only is he the best defensive player in the NFL, but he opens up so many different things on our defensive line. And I know Hurts can run, but he's going to be forced into some mistakes this week that he hasn't had to face so far. You haven't played a team that's good defensively, period. Like I said, he's 0-8, or actually 0-9 against playoff teams in his career. And let's also bring up the fact that last year we put up 41 on you guys. 41-21 in the first game. The second game, which didn't mean anything because we'd already clinched the division, we put up 51. 2020, you beat us one time because we had a guy named Ben DiNucci playing quarterback for us. The game when we had Dak, we beat you 37-17. The year before that, smoked you in the first game, went to the playoffs. I'm not saying
one and done.
I'm going to give what the Cowboys. Hey, that's okay. What did you guys do?
Always. No. Go ahead.
I'm going to give you props. Like I said, I think Philly's pretty good. The thing I can't stand about Philly is the same thing people can't stand about Cowboy fans. You can't get on social media. You can't get on ESPN. It is all this hype train. You guys haven't beat anybody. You haven't played anybody. I'm not saying we're going to blow you out because we don't have our offense like we had last year. We're not going to blow you guys out. But we are going to win. We're going to win a close game. It's going to be it's probably going to be a field goal at the end of the game. But you haven't faced a defense like you've played or about to play. This dude, Micah Parsons, is the real fucking deal.
Thank you.
And I'll be the first one.
Grizz, what you got? You're up.
All right. So first off and foremost, I respect what you're saying. I give you credit for coming on here and talking on, Eagles Dallas week for sure, first off. But let me jump back up to where you started at. So you said about this year, right? You bring up teams like the Lions, which before last week was the first place in most points scored this season until they got blown out last week. They were rocking. It's the Lions. It's Jared Goff. But those first 4 games, the Lions looked like they could have been a different team this year. And anybody could say that. They were putting up crazy numbers, most points in the season. But I'm not going to put there because their defense is garb. And we've seen that. That's why we were able to come back. The Jaguars, the week before, they had a great game. They looked like they were going to be something too. We even spotted Dougie P 14 points. But once again, we had to climb back out and take the win. The Vikings, who week 1 beat the crap out of the Packers, which is what we just seen the Giants do last week, and the Vikings came and got crushed by us. Granted, I understand what you're saying about defense, but this is the other thing. Micah Parsons is great, but who else on that defense not named? And I'll give you Diggs because he's a boomer bust corner. I'll give you him as a top tier defensive player, but who besides him underneath them is going to stop our offensive line with Lane Johnson, Jason Kelsey, Isaac Sayamalu, and we've even had Landon Dickerson, Driscoll, all these guys step in big power moves. We lost 3 linemen last week. Still were able to come out with a dub. Regardless of how it ended, we came out with a dub, and that's what it comes down to. Offensively, nobody thought Jalen Hurts was going to come in this year, be 5-0, dump the amount of passing plays that he's done. And you brought up last year about Dallas beating us. You beat Jalen Reagor, Quez Watkins, and a whole bunch of other bums that we had. We went and got A.J. Brown. Smitty was back. I mean, what we got? Smitty on his rookie year. You beat a bunch of bums, which you should have. You should have hung 70 on us
I
while you
like
had
it.
the chance. I'm just
I
being
like it.
honest. You beat up.
I like
mean,
it.
you know, I'm just keeping it real. This year, we're a different team. We have our big body receiver like Alshon when we had the Super Bowl run. That we needed. We missed that. Before Alshon, the biggest receiver we had was T.O. That's a big body receiver that was making noise like A.J. Brown. Just being honest.
Sure.
And then on the other side of A.J. Brown, you got Devonte Smith, which the Slim Reaper has been going crazy this year. I mean, you've seen his skinny little
All right,
ass in
Grizz.
between
Hey,
two
Grizz,
Washington
let
receivers.
me ask you something. So I'm going to give you.
What's up?
I'm going to give you 2.5 minutes. You debunked him. You tell me. We want to know now. I'm going to give you another 2.5 minutes. You tell us why y'all are going to
The
be.
Eagles are going to win?
Yeah, you tell us.
I'm going to give it to you
why.
just like this.
Go.
Double team Micah Parsons. What do you have on the other side? That's where we're going to run our offense. Miles Sanders may not run the ball. It may be Hurts. It may be Kenny Gainwell with a dump and go. For all I know is when Micah Parsons is on that field, where he's at on that field, like you guys say, and you do because he moves around everywhere, just like we take Hassan Reddick, we can move him down. You guys take him and put him into coverage. You bring him in. He's blitzing every time. Double team that right side. We run the ball. That opens up the pass play once we're able to keep him blocked. And once that the pass goes, you're going to have Diggs on A.J. Brown. Who's guarding Devonte Smith? That's what I want to know. Devonte Smith's going to be the baller that he was when A.J. Brown got shut down last week. It's going to happen this week again. The Eagles by 6.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
Nice.
I like it. So I'm going to answer your question, Grizz. It's pretty simple. Please, please, please double Micah Parsons. Please do that because we've got D-Law. We got Neville Gallimore. We got Dorrance Armstrong, who had a sack fumble last week on Stafford. He had a blocked punt. That defensive line is super, super deep. And it's a lot of guys that you've never heard of, but they're super deep. We also have a guy back there by the name of Anthony Barr. We got Diggs. I'm going to give you credit for one thing you said. No, we don't have any answer for Devonte Smith. The answer for Devonte Smith is Jalen Hurts running for his life because he's not going to be able to throw the ball. And that's –
Give me 1 second. 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good.
All right, go ahead. Continue. Sorry, my son was.
No, I was just saying you got DeMarcus Lawrence, who has. There's not one of your offensive linemen can stop that guy one-on-one. That guy's an all-pro. Neville Gallimore is probably the most underrated.
Lane Johnson, those are all pros, man. Year in and year out.
I'm just telling you, DeMarcus Lawrence will get to your quarterback if you double team Micah Parsons. And you can't use a back to chip him. You better not use your tight end because Goddard's not going to be able to help him either. So to answer that question, no, we don't. To what you said, no, we don't have an answer for Smith except for Micah Parsons and that defensive line. He's just not going to have time to throw. And you haven't faced a front seven like that. The only way Dallas gets beaten this game is if we break contain too many times and Jalen hurts us with his legs. That's the only way. And I will give you this. Y'all are at home. If this game was in Dallas right now, you guys wouldn't have a chance. And I'm going to tell you this, another part with I know you've looked at your schedule. Y'all have the biggest cupcake schedule outside of playing us twice in the entire league. You guys should win every other game that you play this year because you're not playing anybody, which I was looking at it this afternoon. So I'm going to give you this. You're going to win the division. You're going to win the division, but you're not going to win this game. And you're not going to win the game in Dallas. And then if you happen to play us again in the playoffs, it's going to be all over but the crime because Dak's going to be back. We're getting our receivers back. We're getting healthy. Our offensive line is gelling. And I like this guy, Jason Peters. He's pretty good guy. He's really helping our offensive line.
He definitely is a great guy. But he'll get you about 3 flags Sunday. Don't even worry about it. 3 false starts. Peters, we got you. Ask the Bears. Ask the Bears why they didn't re-sign him because they didn't know what he was going to do. But granted, I'll give you this too. You talk about your line, right? I got a couple names for you. Josh Sweat, Jordan Davis, Brandon Graham. Let's add up these sack numbers of what we've had so far. Here, I'll break it down some numbers too. BG, Hassan Reddick, Josh Sweat. Almost every one of our front 7 have more than 1 sack, and we're on game 5 of the year. That's pretty good numbers. And yours are all getting eaten up by the same person going to Parsons. So I understand that. But you're bringing D-Law up.
Parsons has 4. He has 4.
Yeah, he has 4. And, if you break it down and look, I could bring up the exact numbers. Not that we have crazy time, but our defense is right along there with you guys, man. We're 9 sacks on Wentz. Homecoming Wentz wanted to come back Washington, 9 sacks. T-Law had a great game week before, 2 strip sacks, 5 turnovers on the Jags. I mean, it's one thing if we're barely beating them, like I could give you with Detroit, where we had to come back and win, but we laid a whooping on the Vikings that they probably haven't seen since the NFC Championship game, right before that. I mean,
that was impressive. That win did impress me because I thought the Vikings are probably a top tier. But like I said, it's still
this
Kirk.
Year as well.
It's still Kirk
Cousins on Pride Time.
He's still a show. Yeah, he's just So what I'm saying is y'all haven't beaten anybody. And I mean, what was
the Cardinals' record last year? What was the Cardinals' record last year?
What did they look like at the end of the year?
I understand that, but you're saying we didn't beat anybody over 500. We just beat a team that was over 500 last week.
I said playoff teams.
No,
I never said you didn't beat a team
mistake.
over 500.
You're right.
I said playoff teams.
You are correct.
I said Jalen Hurts is 0-9 against playoff teams, except for the win he got last week against Kyler Murray, who is the dumbest quarterback in the NFL. I mean, if that dude doesn't slide right there, y'all probably lose that game.
No, he didn't slide. He spiked the ball. He didn't have to spike it. There was time left to run another play. Yeah. That was on him.
Obviously,
the other it's cool. But the other thing too, right, that gets to me is we were 0-9 against those teams when, like I told you, what our roster looked like. Jalen Hurts went into this offseason getting blown out by the Bucs in the playoffs, sneaking ourselves in there when we had no reason to be there. That team was putrid last year. The only people that were doing anything was Devonte Smith as a rook. Love him. Broke 1,000 yards with nobody.
Yeah, it was awesome.
The next best receiver was who? Quez Watkins, who now gets 2 or 3 touches a game this year. Let's be real. Jalen Reagor's got 1 touchdown with the Vikings because it was a run play. He's seen nothing but punt returns. Our first round wide receiver over Justin Jefferson is now playing with Justin Jefferson. That should tell you who we had the past couple of years to pass the ball.
No, I agree. Y'all were depleted at receiver last year, and y'all are better last year, infinitely better than you were last year. I'm just telling you. No, you are. There's no doubt about that. And I was saying in my first podcast this year, especially after, it was the first one before we got smoked by the Bucs, that every team in our division got better in the offseason and we got worse. So I'm going to give you that, but I also didn't see
a couple big
defense
pieces you guys lost.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Cooper.
think about we lost Cooper, we lost Randy
Gregory to the Bronx.
Yeah.
You lost a couple pieces that could have helped. Like you said, your defense is doing fine. Gregory's not a terrible loss, but your offense could use Cooper all day long. CeeDee Lamb can't catch separation because they're doubling him every game.
It's a short break, I know, because the Baylor game's starting. And Grizz, you got to get to that pro game to do all your prop betting and win another band. So real quick, Tristan, I'm going to give you one question to ask each one or together, and then I've got a question, and then we'll end this. Go ahead, Tristan. You got anything?
You couldn't have give me a heads up on that before we did the show.
I mean, okay, I'll ask right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask both of you. How the hell are you going to win this game with your quarterback? Like, I don't see anything great in either quarterback. Although I think I like the redhead better than Dak. But I don't, and then but how are you going to win?
You can go first, bro. Go ahead.
Well, the thing about having this guy in at quarterback and Cooper Rush, he's an adequate backup. I thought we were fucked when Dak got hurt, completely fucked. Even though Cooper Rush came in and beat Minnesota on the road on Sunday night last year and threw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. But I didn't see this coming. But the thing is the offense runs way more efficiently. They're a run-first team, he's making checks and calls at the line. He's not going to make a mistake. So if our defense can keep us in this game, that's how we're going to win it. He's not going to make the big mistake. We'll put up 20, 24 points, and we'll win that game because Philly's not going to be able to score that many. We're the only team in the league that hadn't given up 20 points.
The kid could have played at Georgia. I like that. I like that.
And to bounce off of that, I'm gonna respond to one question too. A lot of Cowboys fans are saying you guys are very happy about beating teams like the Rams and the Bengals. The Rams have a Super Bowl hangover. Yeah. Let it be as it is. Yeah. It's a proven fact that Super Bowl hangovers are real.
their offensive line is nothing.
It's terrible.
I
The
think they only
Bengals-
had one starter come back.
Yep. The
Panthers
Bengals
the
also
Panthers
started
are gonna
off
be
terrible this year, 2-3 as well. I see that division going to the Ravens, and that's literally because of Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson, the way they're playing.
Yeah,
But to
I
answer
agree.
your question, the reason why I think the Eagles are going to be able to win with quarterback is because of the fact that our defense is a run-stopping defense, and we have some playmakers in the back. But when it comes to them big guys up front, look at the picture of Jordan Davis in front of Kyler Murray last week. It looks like a man was going to eat him. He was 1/3 of him. When he gets in that nose, he's blocking up the lanes. We know Zeke's not going to break out. Tony Pollard's a great running back. You guys should have got rid of Zeke and made him
100%
RB1.
agree with you.
Because he breaks 50, 60 yards every week. But us, we're going to do
it every week.
quick slants. So like I said, to Devonte Smith, quick slants, and be ready. Be ready for the trickery this week. Because if there's one thing that Nick Sirianni did not do last week, it was show our hand for this week, which is why the Cardinals stuck in that game. Because we went up 2 touchdowns and he played conservative. Let the Cardinals come back. We almost lost. I don't think he knows it's Cowboys Eagles week. You've seen the shirt. Sirianni's wearing it. It's going to be a defensive game first, and then what option plays come from the quarterback is what's going to win us this game.
Tristan,
well,
you got something?
better be quick with them slants. That's all I got to say. They better be lightning quick.
All right, I'm gonna keep it with the theme of the show. Grizz bets, I know he does. Russell, you don't, but you still have a sports understanding of it.
Oh, for sure,
absolutely.
He definitely does.
What is the best bet on this game?
The under.
I respect that. I like that. I like that. What's the under over right now at? Matter of fact, if anybody could pull that up.
42.
It's a 42.
42.
No way.
So that's
42.
21 a pop. 21 a pop. That's 3
I think
tutties.
it's gonna be like a 2017, 2014 game. Yeah.
I think the best thing is going to be, and I'm going to be real with you, is you can guarantee that the 3+ or 4+ sacks on DraftKings or any of them is going to be, it's going to be like 1+ minus 750, 2+ minus 500. You get the 3+, it'll probably be like minus 125 to even money. Yeah. I'm going with 4 sacks, 2 apiece. They're going to get to us twice. We get the Cooper Rush twice. That's how I see it.
It's a divisional game, and these games are always good as fuck. Would you agree that? Would you agree like I do that 6 points is too many
to be giving?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's a 6-point game, to be honest. So it would be a push, but I honestly think it's a 6-point game. Either way. Yeah. I think it's a push at 6 because that's 2 field goals. And like we were just talking about, this is a defensive game. It's not going to be all that, like when we watched the Colts game the other night on primetime with the Broncos, that was a terrible offense and defensive game. Look for a great defensive game from both teams with the offense trying to hang around to take the lead. That's what I see.
Totally agree.
Get us to the fourth quarter. We got a shot. So we're gonna end with this. Obviously, you think Russ, you think the Cowboys are gonna win. You know the Phillies are gonna win. Russ, give me a final score.
Dallas 21, Eagles 14.
What do you got?
2014 Philly.
2014 Philly. I got it. Well, just so you know, we both took me and Tristan both took Dallas plus the 6. We didn't take a money line.
Push is a win, baby.
I did say
a win.
I did say this, Grizz. I said if this game was played in Dallas and Dallas was giving y'all 6, I would pick Philly plus 6.
Philly.
I respect it.
I would too.
It's a division game. It's gonna be fun to watch.
Guys,
to add one more thing to it.
Yeah.
Just take a look at our other division game this year. Carson Wentz got sacked 9 times.
Yeah, we almost.
Just saying. I know you guys aren't Carson Wentz, but Cooper Rush isn't that much better. Carson Wentz has a bad problem with throwing the game away with 30 seconds left. We've seen it against the Jags playoffs last year. We've seen it last week with the game on the line. I don't know if that's the coach's play, but I will tell you what. Wentz comes out tonight, and this is for everybody who's listening that may have money on this Washington game.
Go Bears.
Wentz is going to come out tonight, and he is going to pass that ball. And that man is going to pass that ball to Curtis Samuel, Brian Robinson, and Terry McLaurin. Those are 3 receivers I could see making some moves tonight. And Darnell Mooney should have a good game as well.
Guys, thank you guys for coming on. Russell, Grizz, I appreciate you guys taking time to come out here and give us a little rundown on what y'all think the Cowboys and Philly game is going to turn out to be and the important stuff. I told Tristan before y'all came on, I think that game, y'all's game, is only one of the other 2 that I think is worth the shit this weekend.
This week, yeah. That should be great.
That deal. But I appreciate you guys. Everybody listening, please go to coachescall.store. Hit that Discord button. Come join for free. Grizz is in there shuffling, play after play, prop after prop. The guy's a beast in there. We're having a lot of fun. Also, you can follow us on Spotify. The Jaded Cowboys on there once a week. We have a merch store now. You can go out there and check out some shirts and caps and stuff that we have. I appreciate you guys hanging in there. We will be back next week with another Pick'em show. For tonight, I want to thank everybody. Thank you guys for listening. This is Pro Lines and Raking Dimes, Coach's Call, NFL Pick'em, Week 6. Hope everybody cashes. Y'all have a great week.